Good afternoon. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we're here in what I call Project Green Studios to have a conversation today about uh, a life changing financial tool. And so, thank you for tuning in, those who may be coming in. I want to encourage you, if you do, when you do come in, to share this with others so that they can join as well. So if you are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, will you share this on your page so that others can join as well? I'm going to share it on mine, and because we want to get some folks in here to hear this conversation, to participate in the conversation, maybe share their own comments or questions for our conversation today. And so, all right, I am sharing now, if I can. All right. So, thank you all for, some of you remember just a couple of months ago, we had our inaugural Economic Empowerment Conference in partnership with the Kent County Tax Credit Coalition. And it was live on Zoom. And it wasn't just live on Zoom, it was live, full of energy, full of fun, hosted by my friend and brother, Ken Sapp, who provided some comedy. DJ Comp was on the ones and twos, providing some music. And all of you were there. We had 111 people register, and 106 people actually showed up at some point during the conference. That was just an amazing turnout. And I think that just proves to us that, money is on our mind and our mind is on our money, right? We're always thinking about something as it relates to our money. Do we have enough to make ends meet? Do we have enough to pay for that emergency that pops up? Do we have enough saved up for our kids' college? I was just in a conversation earlier today with our 500 strong participants, and somebody was talking about their, their 11-year-old child, and now this parent wants to prepare for their child's college. So money is always on our minds, and we talked about a lot of great things during our Economic Empowerment Conference. We had great presenters, and I'm still buzzing by it, and I know that we're looking forward to doing that again sometime in the very near future. We certainly are looking towards next year, but we may have to do something even before that. Stay tuned for more information. But one of the things that we did for fun was to do some giveaways. And so we gave away some gift cards to local restaurants. We even had a winner in Indiana. We had to send her an Amazon restaurant or Amazon gift card. So that was fun. But our big giveaway for the day was a $500 life insurance premium giveaway. So we didn't give away a life insurance policy. We gave away $500 to go towards someone's premium on life insurance. So depending on how much insurance they qualified for, then that could pay for a year or two of a life insurance premium. We thought that was important because life insurance is often misunderstood and certainly underused, particularly in Black and Brown communities. And so we wanted to use this giveaway really as an opportunity to spark a conversation as a part of a much larger and ongoing movement towards understanding and using life insurance as a wealth building tool. A lot of you are like me. You remember, the insurance man would come by the house once a month to collect that premium. And, my parents, that was certainly our story. But, what I found out later now, especially now that both of my parents have passed and we're on the other side of that life insurance policy, we learned that those policies really weren't quite as great of a financial tool as they were sold. And so frequently in Black and Brown communities, we use life insurance just for final expenses. So just for burial policies. But really, life insurance can be used as an asset building tool and as a means of passing along wealth to the next generation. So we did a drawing live at the end of the conference. We chose a winner, but that winner actually declined the prize. And then we drew another name, and we did that after the conference. We did another live broadcast. We pulled another name, and that person is Deshandra Boone, and Deshandra is here with us today. I want to bring her on the screen, um, and we're going to just talk about her experience and just what was going on, uh, in her life at that time. So let me bring up Deshandra. Hey there, Deshandra. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Um, Glad to have you joining us today for a few minutes on this conversation on life insurance. And so, um, some of you will know and remember Deshandra from her Grand Rapids days, and she and I were actually both on staff together at New Hope Baptist Church, and so I was just delighted personally when I saw her name pop up. Um, But then I got even more excited when I called her and we talked about this prize. And so, Deshandra, when I contacted you about your winning, you said that you were actually in the midst of securing life insurance for your family. And so, tell us what was going on that really encouraged you to pursue life insurance at that time.
Sure. So, yes, I was actually in the midst of securing life insurance for my family. My husband and my daughters, we're all insured, and we had insurance through his job. He had some additional insurance as well, but we were looking to increase that. But previously, earlier this year, we lost a family member who did not have insurance. And so, just going through that entire process of what it's like to try to bury your loved one when you don't have the instant cash on hand, that was an experience. And so, I had told myself that I was going to get insurance for everyone that I knew it would affect me. So, my couple of siblings of mine, I was looking and I went ahead and secured insurance for them. I got additional insurance for my kids. And I was in the process. I was the last one that it was trying to go through when I attended the conference and won on that wheel. That was great.
Yeah, wow. Well, first of all, I'm very sorry to hear about your loved one passing. And as you shared, we unfortunately we hear that story way too many times, right? That people pass, and then not only do we have to grieve the pain of their not being with us, but then there's additional burden because the finances are not there to take care of those final expenses. And so, um, it's often those pain points that push us to doing something, um, that's actually beneficial. If you're like me, all of us have had sort of those aha or those wake up call moments financially where it's like, I know I should have done this 10, 15, 20 years ago, but now this thing is causing me to do it right now. So kudos to you for not just, feeling that way, but you actually took action to get it done. Um, so, and, you talked about your siblings and your spouse, your children. So obviously a lot of people have been impacted by this decision that you made. So how did you, Deshandra, how did you choose who you were going to go with as your insurance provider, and talk to us a little bit about that process of obtaining your policy.
So, I was in the process of being with an insurance company, and they required a medical exam and some other things. I took the medical exam, and it was just still taking a while. So I ended up going with a different company. But just knowing that if you are looking for life insurance, you do want to do it now because some companies require more. If you have previous things in your background, medical histories, they want the details. They want you to go in and take the exam. They want to look at your medical history from your healthcare provider. So that does take some time. So if you're in the market to get insurance, you do want to do it now, because you never know, the company that you decide to go with may want some additional information, and that'll take some time for them to process it through. The company that I did end up going with, it was a great company. Um, I was able to get term insurance through them, a good amount, and until we reevaluate everything, we're going to go with the term insurance right now.
Excellent. So you bring up a very important element. You talk about term insurance,
Mhm.
and I'm sure a lot of people who hear this video will know what term insurance is. Some won't, though. So let me just briefly say, again, going back to those policies that my family had, that a lot of our families were sold, many years ago. They were generally whole life policies, which means that you have life insurance for your whole life. Um, and whenever you pass, then that the face value of that insurance is paid to your family. Term life, as the name implies, it only covers you for a certain term. So you might get a 20-year term policy or a 30-year term policy, and people might get that because their financial needs may change, and they actually anticipate that they will change. Um, so if your financial obligations might decrease over time, if you plan to be debt free or pay off your house, then you may not need as much insurance. You may be saving or investing, and those are the funds you're going to use to for your final expenses. You may not need as much insurance. And one of the other big differences is that the monthly, or rather the annual premiums on term insurance, is about 10 times less expensive than whole life. So I'm not an insurance agent, but um, those are things that people should know. All right, great. So you talked about term insurance. Were there any other specific features that you were recommended to consider, or that any specific features that you chose for your policy? And
So,
I'm sorry, Deshandra, let me just say this while you're thinking about that question. If there's anybody who's watching and you have a question or comment, put that in the comment section of whatever platform you're watching on, and we'll try our best to respond. So I'm sorry, Deshandra. So the question again was, were there any specific features that you chose for your policy?
with term, I chose a 20-year term. They can go up to 30 years. Every company is different. Um, that was just pretty much the basic, well, not the basic policy, but that's the standard. You choose your amount of time, your allocated amount of time for the insurance, the life of the insurance policy. And so I get to reevaluate it at the end of 20 years or before we choose to.
Mhm.
Um, so it was a simpler process.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Um, did anything surprise you during the process?
With the company that I went through, no, it was a great company, and we had insurance before. Even when I was in Grand Rapids, we had whole life insurance. So being able to just compare the two to get the term, if you're looking, you don't want it to be as stressful, you can get the term now. And then if you want to look into the other policy options, such as there are policies that have like death benefits that can help you throughout your life, you can, you'll have time to look into that further, because those insurance companies require more.
Excellent, excellent. And in talking with an insurance agent myself, I actually learned that there's a feature that will actually uh, cover the cost of your premium if you should run into financial hardship temporarily.
Yeah,
So those are great things to investigate.
right.
Deshandra, how do you think having life insurance will affect you and your family?
So I feel a lot better now. Like I said, we had insurance for me, my husband, and my children, but it wasn't a whole lot. Now that we were able to up it for me to cover all of our expenses if anything happened to me, um, the kids, and then I'm able to take care of whatever is needed for my siblings. That I got the insurance for them. That's just really a relief. It's a relief because like I said, going through that process earlier was really stressful. And like you said, we don't want to have the additional stress of finances when we're grieving our loved one.
Absolutely. Is there anything that you wish you would have known earlier or known, before, that you learned later, or that you learned while you were going through this life insurance process?
Um, the only thing I wish I would have known is how many people actually do not know about life insurance,
Yeah.
and how many people, they think they have time. Oh, I'll get it, I'll get it, I'll get it.
Mhm.
We never know. And
Yeah.
so if you think about it, if you think about your family and friends or how many funerals you've been to, you think back to how many people really did not have insurance. Um, it's a good number. So just being able to e- educate or bring that knowledge to friends
Mhm.
and family, because they're the ones we talk to every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big thing. So I've been talking
Absolutely.
to friends and family about it.
Well, and as you grow older, then your life insurance becomes more and more expensive. So that's another reason to not delay
Yeah.
getting life insurance. So, well, thank you, Deshandra. As you said, just the importance of sharing with other people the value of getting insurance. You're doing that right here today as you share your story. Our tagline, our vision statement for Project Green is turning everyday people into money heroes. And so, what we mean by a money hero is someone who is pursuing their own financial goals and then helping someone else to do the same. And so, that's exactly what you're doing. So, we consider you one of our money heroes. We are glad that we were able to come alongside, your family and your journey. And we're just excited to hear how other people will be impacted by your story. And so, if you are, again, for those who hear this, we'd love to hear from you. So reach out to us, send us an email. If you have questions or comments that you didn't want to put in the chat, or if you want to share your own life insurance story, we would love to hear it, because this is just the beginning. This is a part of a larger movement for us. But also, we have volunteers who are part of the Project Green family. We have a financial coach, a financial planner, even one of our presenters from the conference. She has a business where she does financial coaching. We'd love to connect you with either of them to help you, answer some life insurance questions or other questions about your financial journey. And then we had an event sponsor, um, who is Sterling Massey from State Farm Insurance. And so we'd love to connect you with him as well. So Massey Insurance and Financial Services. Here's his email address, sterling at masseyagency.net. And then his website as well. We'll bring that up on the screen. It's masseyagency.net. So we'd love to connect you with him. He is a life insurance expert, so he can answer questions that I cannot. So again, thanks to Chandra. We appreciate your time,
Thank you.
and we will look forward to hearing from others. And you all have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.